the Starship, as it's called, Elon Musk's Starship, the largest rocket ever manufactured. They successfully launched it last month. They talk about it being a giant leap for SpaceX and the civilian space program that is the America space program. So 2 hours after that, once conditions were safe, the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service and a conservation group began canvassing the migratory bird habitat that surrounds the launch site. Oh, that's right. You have to launch somewhere, so they launch there, and they launch in an area which is a migratory bird habitat, and it's very fragile. The launch had unleashed an enormous burst of mud, stones, and fiery debris across all of these public lands that surround Mr. Musk's $3 billion space compound. Chunks of sheet metal and insulation strewn across the sand flats. A small fire had ignited, leaving a charred patch of park grasslands, remnants from the blast-off that burned 7.5 million pounds of fuel.
Wow.
But one thing that was quite disturbing was the yellow smear on the soil in the same spot that a bird's nest lay the day before. None of the 9 nests recorded by the nonprofit Coastal Bend Bays and Estuaries program, none recorded before the launch had survived intact. Egg yolk now stains the ground. The nests have all been messed up or have eggs missing. This is a well-documented pattern. On at least 19 occasions since 2019, SpaceX operations have caused fires, leaks, explosions, or other problems associated with the rapid growth of this area in Boca Chica. These incidents have caused environmental damage and really point to a debate that we're not really having, which is what can be done to protect these delicate ecosystems and these local communities from these immensely destructive, powerful launches. You can imagine that Elon Musk, I've made this point before, he's a very powerful man. I mean, powerful over America, because you need his technology to launch into space. I've made this point several times. There's a short that I did a couple of years ago, I think, on this, which speaks to the fact that you've got the tail wagging the dog. There is no regulatory agency. There's no, even if you could get Congress to agree, they just will not bring Elon Musk into any kind of conformity when it comes to environmental policy, because Musk has a goal in mind, and it's related to space exploration and technology, and it's not related to conservation and protecting these habitats. So you need him for commercial space operations, for launching satellites. So you, the American government, cannot control Elon Musk. If you look at his tactics in South Texas, he's exploited the limitations and the different missions of various agencies. So the ones that would take issue with a lot of what he's done, he's really done everything in such a way so as to frustrate those agencies, particularly officials with the Interior Department's Fish and Wildlife Service and the National Park Service. The FAA Bigfooted them because Musk asked the FAA to Bigfoot the Interior Department and the National Park Service. So in the end, South Texas's ecology took a backseat to SpaceX and the country's ambitions. Blowing debris into state parks or national land is not what we prescribed, but the bottom line is no one got hurt and no one got injured, said Kevin B. Coleman, the top FAA official overseeing the space launch licenses. We certainly don't want people to feel like they're being bulldozed, but it's a really important operation that SpaceX is conducting down there. It is really important to our civilian space program. So you see, he really kind of said the quiet part out loud. We need it. And so sorry about your birds and about fragile habitats.
Okay.
But that's the way Musk and tech control agencies that would otherwise modify their plans.
The Mark Thompson Show.
There is a vacation hotspot that is turning tourists away. This gorgeous place set atop a hill on the Italian island of Sicily.
Ooh, it's beautiful. Look at that.
Agrigento is a heritage tourist paradise. Beneath these archaeological structures, relics of its Valley of the Temples. Beneath it all lies an ancient maze-like aqueduct system that still captures water today. But the aqueduct and others built in modern times are running so dry that small hotels and guest houses in the city and nearby coast are being forced to turn tourists away.
No.
What?
They don't have enough water to guarantee their guests a toilet that flushes or even a shower after a day out in the summer heat.
Oh, no.
Sicily began enforcing water restrictions in February when the region declared a state of emergency amid a relentless drought there. And leaking, aging infrastructure has worsened the shortages. And now they've hit tourism and agriculture also. Those are two sectors that are crucial to Sicily's economy.
Looks like it was supposed to be a lake at one point. Wow.
Yeah. Well, what you're seeing is Lake Pergusa. It's in central Sicily, and it's fed by rain and groundwater and has no inlets or tributaries. And so you can see that it's in trouble. So less than a quarter of the usual rain fell during the winter across the island. That has left around 20% of underground aquifers in a state of water scarcity. The regional government declared a state of crisis and water emergency for irrigation and drinking in Agrigento and 4 other provinces. They've declared that that's going to last through the end of the year.
Yikes.
It's a brutal, brutal manifestation of the loss of water. Hotels, restaurants are going out of business. The Sicilian Regional Government Office points to a study that suggests drilling new wells and building more pipelines and bringing aging desalination plants back online might help. But they say Sicily's not received enough funds from Rome to carry out those plans. So they are running out of time and they are foundering. They are really in the last gasps. Citrus farmers, oranges are shriveling on the trees from lack of water.
Oh, look at that. Wow.
It is wildly disturbing. And many of the crops are dying. They also feel as though overdevelopment of urban centers and certain farms, citrus and wheat farms, this is where you get to managing agriculture, it has to be done quite carefully, have reduced natural wetlands by 20%, which worsens the problem. In any case, there's trouble in Italy, and it's a kind of trouble that is going to look all too familiar elsewhere. And a magnificent tourist spot, tourists are being told, don't come. We don't have water for you. Hi, it's Mark, and I thought that was great. Hit the notification bell, you'll know whenever there's a new video being dropped, and please subscribe to our channel to help us save the universe.